Welcome everyone, thanks for checking out another InfoSec Hub video. Today we're going to talk about the Tor browser. The Tor browser is a browser in which you can interact with the Tor network. And as you can see in the O of Tor, it looks like an onion. So there are layers that your internet data will flow through, because your internet connection will first connect to the first server in the Tor network, and that server will forward that data to another server, and each server could be potentially in a different country. So if I'm from the Netherlands, for instance, and my connection, the exit node where Tor delivers the data from the network onto the internet, and the access node is located in South Africa, then I will have an IP address coming from South Africa. And in that, you totally hide your identity, and your IP address will not be yours. So it's very difficult for websites or online services that you interact with to kind of build a profile on you, and you hide your identity. So in that, you have privacy. So it's browse privately, explore freely. This way you can defend yourself against tracking and surveillance. Well, tracking, first of all, a lot of websites, they use cookies, they use tracking mechanisms to identify you as a user, to see where you click, how long you stay on the site, what kind of interest you have, the referrals. So where did you came from? Did you do a Google search, or did you click a link on Facebook, and how did you? It's basically analytics for the people that own the service, to most of the time make their website better, but also just to build profiles and to see how they can create better advertisements so they get more ad revenue. It's always money involved, basically, or the selling of information about customers, right? Because the internet is set up the way that it's like one big marketing platform, actually, nowadays especially. So you can block trackers, cookies automatically clear when you're done browsing. So every time you close the browser, all the cookies will be deleted. So that's good. This way you defend against surveillance, because you are using the Tor network. The Tor browser tends to make users look all the same. What I talked about earlier is browser fingerprinting. When you just download a browser, Google or Firefox, for instance, the download the download of the browser there, where it starts, you get a unique ID. And then you have a clean browser. You think, okay, then I have to install some plugins. When I have 5 to 7 plugins, or maybe just 2, that's a fingerprint together with the operating system, together with the IP address, already kind of builds up a profile. And trust me, you almost have, especially with the IP address, your public IP address is unique. So you try to find as many unique pieces of information together with the browser fingerprint. We know that you were on this website earlier. So the Tor browser aims to remove all of this and make sure that there's like a unified browser. There's not much to identify about you as a user. So resist fingerprinting. Multilayered encryption is what I talked about earlier. There are thousands of volunteers who run servers as a Tor relay. Basically, like, the traffic goes from one server to another server to another server. Some people even host exit nodes, which after your traffic been to the Tor network, I don't know how many servers it was relayed to, then eventually it needs to go back to the internet, and that's the exit node. And on the exit node is an IP address, and that IP address will, it's usually always in another country, but it will never be your IP address, thus hiding your identity. Browse freely, yeah, of course. You don't leave any traces with the Tor browser, especially in combination with Tails OS, something that I will show you guys in future videos. So the Tor browser, now you have an idea about what it is. I will show you how it works in a future video about Tails OS, because Tails OS, the operating system that aims at privacy online, also has Tor as a default browser in there. So I will show you how it works. But if you are interested and you don't want to install Tails, for instance, you can also download the browser here for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and even Android. So you don't need to go for Tails. You can just download this browser and start browsing and use the Tor network. Very useful if you hate tracking, if you don't want put any tabs on you. And trust me, if you want to do bad things with this, you can still be tracked. Because I think a lot of access nodes about the Tor network are under investigation. I have no doubts about that. But if you just, the standard stuff of internet, like the tracking and the ads and the cookies and everything, and you're tired of that, you can use Tor. You can stay to a certain degree anonymous online, and if you really value that because of your work or your background or whatever it is, then this is a great alternative. Just don't use it for illegal stuff and you're all good. That's basically what I want to tell you guys today about the Tor browser, and hopefully very soon I can show you Tails OS in combination with the Tor browser and how to connect to the Tor network. So until that time, be safe, be healthy, and see you guys in the next video.